Yes, right. So I am Dr. P. Kamalakannan, Assistant Professor. I am from Sona School of Management, Salem, Tamil Nadu. It's a very great opportunity that is given by National Young Indians for me to present in this webinar. You can see the quote by Edward Deming. Without data, you are just another person with an opinion. It says, in God we trust, for everything else we need data. So welcome to the webinar series on business data analysis. So we'll be having a run through on the presentation. Later we'll be going through a small exercise. Then we'll be looking on into several other BA tools that can be useful for every business, especially for the SMEs. Now on to the discussion points. Let's look up on the discussion points. A small introduction on data, how data is important for small businesses, and we'll be looking upon the data literacy and an overview of business analytics, business intelligence, and then tools for data management, and then we'll be looking into Gartner's Magic Quadrant for BA. BA refers to here business intelligence platforms. And then we'll be looking into analytical trends in 2019. And tools, we are going to use a small exercise in Microsoft Excel wherein we'll be discussing on how to structure a business data, how your data can be structured in business. Then we'll be looking into data formatting, data manipulation, and we'll be using pivot tables. The power of pivot tables is remarkable when it comes to business data. And then we'll be looking into some quick visuals. Apart from charts, what else we can do in Excel that we'll be looking upon. And then at the end, we'll be creating a dashboard, a classic dashboard in business that can be used as a visual for decision making. Then we'll be looking into a brief demo on BA tools. BA refers to here business intelligence tools. This brief demo will enable the businesses to decide on the tools that they can invest to harness the power of their own business data at a minimal cost. Now on to the slides. You can see data is the new oil. Every company is looking to make use of data and its benefits. Titans like Alphabet, Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Microsoft, they look unstoppable. They are the 5 most valuable listed firms in the world. Amazon captures half of all dollars spent online in America. Google and Facebook accounted for almost all the revenue growth in digital advertising in America last year. So you can understand the importance of data for every business. The most important source of data is the smartphones. Every smartphone, every tab that we do is recorded and it is sent to the server. And they have a collection of pool of every data of the users. How data is important to small business or SMEs? You can see businesses can harness data to find out new customers. Customer acquisition is the biggest usefulness of data management. You can increase customer retention, improve customer service, better manage marketing efforts, track social media interaction, understand patterns, and finally predict sales trends. So sales is the ultimate revenue for any business. So with the help of data and analytics, you can always predict your sales and you can always use this analytics for the purpose of generating revenue for a business. Now, we'll look into data literacy. How literate are you, especially in SMEs or in businesses? Always, this data literacy helps the business to report maximum profits from their business. Data helps you solve problems. It helps you to see performance. It helps you to improve processes. Why? Why data literacy is important? Because a new breed of data focused companies are spearheading. and businesses needs to come out of, or they should overcome the report factory mentality wherein they focus only on reports and not on the data management. By promoting data literacy culture inside the business down to every single human resource, a tech, new culture is born so that the business can be future centric. To stay competitive in this digital world, we are living in a company, we are living in a company must utilize its data and its as its asset. Every single information that you develop from your business is called as an asset, especially the data. Organizations that have high data literacy are well ahead in leveraging their data compared to other organizations. You can experiment with questions of data to figure out questions that work and do not work. When finding questions about the data that work or do not work, ask why that is the case. Always, companies are reluctant to invest in the data, invest in the tools. When you want to report, when you want to future proof your organization, you must invest in data. To invest in data, the companies must invest in people and invest in tools. We'll see several other tools that will be helping the businesses to better data management at a minimal cost. Businesses need to come out of their age-old spreadsheets. That is, many of the businesses still use Excel 2007 or Excel 2003. They are comfortable with using those Excel, but they should come out of their Excel spreadsheets and custom ERPs and adapt to growing technology to survive in this competitive world. Now, next, we look upon business analytics and intelligence. And these two words, keywords, are the buzzword in the entire industry. You can see business analytics is always, it is a use of statistical analysis with the organization data for decision making. BI, as usual, it is business intelligence, is presenting actionable information in a visual way and more of descriptive analytics, like understanding what has happened and patterns. When it comes to business analytics, there are four types of modeling that is involved. One is descriptive modeling to understand what has happened in your business. Next, diagnostic modeling to understand why it has happened. Next is predictive modeling. You're going to predict what will happen. And finally, end up with prescriptive modeling to avoid that what you're supposed to do. So these are the four types of modeling that you need to understand in your business and data. That is descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, and prescriptive modeling. These are the four modeling techniques. And for this particular purpose, we have a lot of tools, and especially we are focusing on selected tools for the purpose of managing your business data. And you can look at the screen. What are the tools available? Businesses always used to have a confusion which tool we can use in our business, either MS Excel or custom ERPs. There are a lot of other tools that can be customized based on business requirements to manage data and as well as to generate reports for their business. And few tools are listed here. One is MS Excel, SAS, SPSS Modeler, Statistica, Salford Systems, KXN, Angos, MATLAB, and these two softwares are very prominent and very famous across the globe. One is Python, another one is R. Both are open source softwares. But these softwares are very well used for the purpose of prediction and analytics. And we are much more focused on self-service BI, that is self-service business intelligence tools like Power BI. Power BI is Power Business Intelligence from Microsoft, SQL, Tableau. It's another business intelligence, topmost prominent business intelligence software. Orange, Nine, and Azure. Azure is from Microsoft. ML represents machine learning. And you can see the magic quadrant of analytics and business intelligence platforms. You can see the four quadrants here: challengers, leaders, visionaries, and niche players. You can see Microsoft is in the leadership position, And Tableau here, you can see again they are in secondary position, wherein they are the topmost business intelligence software across the globe. Tableau is acquired by Salesforce for $15 billion. And again, Click is also another software that deals with business intelligence and advanced analytics. And you can see SAP is a little bit costly, not a little bit, it's much more costly for a small business to house it in their enterprises. We can use other self-service BA platforms for the purpose of these things. And more companies are looking to acquire data companies. For example, Google has acquired Looker. Now coming back to our topic, that is Excel. MS Excel was originally designed by Dan Bricklin in 1978. Actually, he was a student. He was studying in an university. He designed an electronic spreadsheet for the purpose of solving a case study. Later, this electronic spreadsheet was devised and commercialized in the name of VisiCalc. This VisiCalc was originally designed to operate in Apple II computers. Later, this software was this software evolved, and then Microsoft designed their own Office productivity suite, and then later they commercialized and sold it in the market. Now, the latest version of Excel is Excel 2019, which has much more data analytical capabilities and much more data acquisition. Right. Now we have Excel 2019. Now in this session, what I'm going to use is like I'm using Excel 2016. It's a Pro Plus edition, that is Professional Plus edition. Right. Now we look into the program contents again. Coming back to the program contents, the same thing what we are seen in the second slide. Data formatting, data manipulation, pivot table analysis, quick visuals, dashboards, and demo on these softwares. Now be patient and you will be seeing all those calculations in the screen. Now we'll entering upon the basic things about Excel. Normally, one Excel sheet consists of 1 million rows. 1 million rows is like 10 lakh 48,576 rows and 16,384 columns. These columns extend up to XFD, that is the column name, that is XFD, and you can see the number of cells. Intersection of rows and columns is called as a cell. Before, everyone will be using in Excel in their business somehow, but there are certain basic things that you should understand when creating a database or when creating and entering a data inside an Excel sheet. That is, there are 3 rules in setting up a data inside an Excel sheet. Always the data should be in only vertical form with headers in place. And second thing, there should not be any empty rows or empty columns inside the data. In case if there is an empty row or an empty column, you can remove it. And also there should not be any manual totals. In case of manual total, Excel will understand it as a record, and then again it will be added to the calculations. So it is better we create an Excel sheet, we create a database with these rules, so that we'll be having an excellent data manipulation. Now over to Excel sheet. I have sent this Excel sheet to the organizing team so that you can download it. Now, over to this Excel sheet. I guess everyone will be viewing this Excel sheet. I'm hiding this ribbon. You can use Control F1. F1 is called the functional key, and this functional key along with Control F1 you can activate. It's like a toggle key. You can show and hide ribbons. And here you can see this is a simple dashboard we have created from a basic database of a company. This is a product, this is a year, month, salesperson and region, right? And this is a chart We have three charts here. So what is creating, what is that is different in this dashboard? You can see this particular dashboard is created from 500 plus odd records of a business. This dashboard we are going to create in another 45 minutes or so. You can see how this dashboard functions. In case this is a product catalog, you can see in case of analog watch, when the moment you click analog watch, the dashboard changes, the charts changes. You need to see the analog watch, the sales of analog watch in the month of June. You can click here. You can see these two filters activated, analog watch and then June, and you can see the changes here. I'm switching it to normal. I need to see the sales of the only region Rajasthan. So I'm just clicking Rajasthan. The moment you click Rajasthan, you can see the sale, how the sales have changed, who are all the top channel partners, and then what is the sales bandwidth. And this is a simple classic dashboard that we can create in Excel that we will be looking upon. Now I'm going to start from the scratch of creating a dashboard. I hope everyone is ready to listen. Now I have opened an Excel sheet. This Excel sheet consists of a simple database that is created for this particular session purpose. You can see a customer, products, salesperson, region, order date, and there is an empty row here, empty column here, sorry. Sales, year, month, quarter, and channel partners. Channel partners almost like a distributor, and you know better than me, right? Now, and there is an empty column, empty row here. When you scroll down to see how many records in this particular database, you can see it consists of some 577 records and an additional row, the additional record that is inserted here, that is called as total. This particular total is an unwanted data, right? And this data we need to format it before we put this data in for analysis. If you remember these three rules in while setting up a database in Excel, the first rule is you should not have any empty row or empty column in a database. So first thing, we'll remove the empty row and empty column. So this is an F column, this is empty, right click, delete it. And again, there is an empty record here. Here it is not called as rows, it is called as records. Intersection of rows and columns is called as cells. Here it is called as a records. Now we are going to delete this particular record. Right click, delete. Now you can see the first two rules are set up. Now wherever you are, when you press control and home button, it will take you to the cell that is A1. A1 is the first cell in the sheet. So take you to the cell A1. Now press control down arrow. I am pressing control down arrow and it is taking me to the last record of the database. You can see 577th record, 576th record, and there is an additional data that is inserted that is called as total here. This particular total is an unwanted data, so we are going to remove this particular data. Right click, delete. So now your data looks pretty clean. You don't have any empty rows, empty columns, empty cells, anything. You can see this is called as a variable. Customer is a variable, products is a variable, salesperson is a variable, and you can see order date is again a variable. Sales is the only numerical item you have in this particular database. Next is year, month, quarter, and channel partners. Now you just hover around your data. You need to know the boundaries of your data. Just press control home. It takes you to the customer. That is your A1 cell. I'm pressing control down arrow. This control down arrow takes me to the last record in the database. And again, I am pressing control right arrow. It takes me to the last variable, that is the last one, the fag end of my database. Again, I am pressing control up arrow. It is taking me to the last column header. Again, I am pressing control left arrow. Now I can see my boundaries of my data. All those boundaries, all the four corners of my data I have seen, I have cleaned. Now this data is ready for analysis. This data is ready for analysis. Now we'll be going in for analysis. This particular webinar is not focused on any formulas. We'll be using absolutely zero formulas for this particular webinar. We'll be using only pivot tables, and we'll be creating a dashboard for the purpose of data analysis. Now you have seen all these things. Any data, to make it more powerful in the Excel, you need to convert your data into a tabular format. How to convert your data into tabular format? Just since you have removed the rows and columns, empty rows and empty columns, and the total thing, now you can convert your data into the tabular format. Press Control A. Control A. The moment you press Control A, your entire data gets selected completely up to the last record. Up to the, you can see your last record over here. 576 record is there. So completely over the thing, everything gets selected. Control A. Now I'm going to convert this data into a table format. There are absolutely, we have benefits when you convert your data into a table format. How to convert your data? Now I'm pressing Control T, T for table. Control T. The beauty of Excel is using shortcuts. When you're able to use shortcuts without using mouse, it gives you lot of time saving efforts. Now when you're going to create a table, make sure that the table has headers. Your table has headers. Otherwise, Excel will allocate the headers randomly, like column 1, column 2, up to column n. So you make sure that this particular table has a variable name, and otherwise it is termed as headers here. Now I'm clicking OK. Where is the data for your table? My table has headers. Yes, my table has headers. I'm clicking OK. The moment you click OK, you can see your table looks in a different format. Once your data is converted into a table format, you can see a design menu that is popped up. When you click outside the table, that menu disappears. When you click inside the table, that menu pops up. When you click this design menu, you can see you can alter the designs of your styles of your tables. You can use any particular designs for this particular database. I'm just leaving it to the default button. Nothing like, I'm not using anything. Now I'm going to the last record. See, sales. We have only sales is the only numerical item in your database. Now what I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to insert a total row. Total row that is not considered as a part of your database. Instead, that gives you a maximum information about a basic calculation about your data. Now we can see how we can insert it. First, the moment you go to the last record of your sales, you can see in the design menu, table sale options, there is an option that is called as total row. When you check this, you can see a total record is sorry, you can check this, and you can see a total record is added to the last line of your data. I'm just clicking here. The moment you click here, you can see a drop down menu that appears. You can click this drop down menu and you can see these things: average, count numbers, maximum, minimum, sum, standard deviation, and much more functions. So we are not going to use anything here. I'm just clicking sum, and the moment I click sum, you can see a subtotal appears for the entire sales column. If you want to see what is the maximum number of sales during a particular in this particular database, click max. 99,864 is your maximum data, maximum sales. And then if you want to see minimum sales, there is a sales that we have done for 0, and we are concerned only about sum value. So we have created a sum value. Right now, this is a part. Now I'm zooming it out. In design menu, you can see in the top corner below the file menu, there is an option that is called as table name. There's an option that is called as table name. You can rename in case if you are having multiple databases in your system. You can use this particular thing to differentiate your data from other tables. Just I'm giving it as data here. Just enter. Make sure that this particular name that you are entering doesn't have a space or any special characters. It accepts underscore but not any other thing, any spaces or something like that. So you need to know when you are entering the date, when you are entering a unique name for this particular database. So your data is ready for analysis. You can see your data is ready for analysis. This is a basic count, and this particular thing will not be added to your database. We can use this data table for the purpose of creating reports. Now now we are going to create a pivot tables. What is a pivot table? Pivot table means data that you can rotate, the table that you can rotate, that is called as a pivot table. Now we are going to create a pivot table. See, this is the data. Click anywhere inside the database, that is the table. Go to insert menu, and you have two options here below the file menu. One is pivot table, another one is recommended pivot tables. When you click recommended pivot tables, it lists out what are all the possibilities in which you can create tables. It shows you a sales table with count, another sales table with regions, and so on. We don't want any of this. We'll create a pivot table of our choice. Now I'm just going to click pivot table. The moment you click pivot table, you can see a menu dialog box appears. Select a table or range. This table or range, this default data source is data. Data is the name that we have given for this particular table. Now it is asking whether to use an external data source, whether if you are connected to some other external data source or something like that, you can use this. Otherwise, we leave it as such. Now choose where you want the pivot table report to be placed, whether you want it in a new worksheet or an existing worksheet. I'm just clicking on existing worksheet. It is asking location, where to locate your pivot table. I'm just clicking this button. The moment I click this button, the table shrinks. Dialog box shrinks. You can see the worksheets, the worksheet tabs are colored differently for the purpose of easy identification. Now I'm going to create worksheet, and I'm going to create a pivot table here. I'm just placing here. Once again, I'm repeating this. Please check it out. Pivot table is a table that is you can rotate the data, rotate the table to extract maximum information out of it. So I'm clicking a pivot table here. New worksheet or existing worksheet. I'm going to existing worksheet. I'm clicking the location here. The moment I click location, the dialog box shrinks, I'm going to create sheet. I'm placing my table here. Enter, enter. So double enter. This is the data source, and I have placed my table in another sheet. That is enter and enter. Right? Now you can see a separate window that appears here. Pivot table fields, and you can see these are the variable names in your data. That the table: customer, product, salesperson, region, order date, sales, year, month, quarter, and channel partners. Now you have four quadrants here. These four quadrants represents the four quadrants of your pivot tables. Now what I'm going to do is, like, we are going to see what you are going to use it in rows, what you're going to use it in columns, and values, and finally filters. We'll just generate a simple sales report for the purpose of a for the purpose of understanding our data. Now I'm going to drag and drop. I'm going to drag and drop products. These products, I'm dragging these products, dropping in rows. Always remember, pivot table shows only unique records. So there are only four unique products in your data. That is analog watch, antique watches, digital watch, and smartwatch. So there are only four unique products in your data. Now I am going to drag and drop salesperson. This salesperson below the rows. Again, you have four salesperson: Jagdish, Mohan Kumar, Roy Menon, Samidurai. There are four salespersons under each products. Now in values, we can drag and drop only the numerical items. In case if you are dragging and dropping any other categorical items, automatically the only thing that Excel can do is it can count. In case of a numerical value, numerical variable, it does multiple functions that we will see in a short while. Now I am going to drag sales and drop it in values. Now you can see a simple sales report is generated. Analog watch, and in each product segment, what is the sales done by each and every salesperson: Jagdish, Mohan Kumar, Roy Menon, Samidurai, and likewise in all other watch segment. Now we are going to add something to the columns. We are going to add year. The moment you add year, you can see a sales report is ready. This particular sales report consists of 3 years: 2016, 2017, and 2018, and you have a grand total vertically and horizontally, both grand totals, right? And you can see this particular pivot table is called as this is a simple sales report that you can use it in your business. This is a consolidated data. You can see your data sources like this, and from this data source we have created a report that consists of sales data aggregated for products and salesperson based on year. Now we can do much more in this data analysis, in this pivot tables. What else? Now I'm going to drag and drop channel partners. I'm going to drag and drop channel partners into filters. So now we have filled up all four quadrants: products, salesperson, sum of sales, that is sales, year in columns, and channel partners. So all these things are in place. Now all the four quadrants are ready. Now there is a simple change of mind. I need all the products based on salesperson, not based on products. I need the sales report. I need to reverse my sales report. Just what you can do is, like, there is a product here in the row area, and there is a salesperson here. You can just drag the salesperson and move it upwards. The moment you move the salesperson upwards, the product comes below, and you can see the changes in your data, changes in your pivot table. All these things changes accordingly. This is called as a simple pivot table or a sales report. Now what is the use of filters here? We have created a filter here as channel partners. Now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to filter the data. How am I going to filter the data? You can see channel partners here. When you click this drop down menu, it shows all the channel partners. You have lots of channel partners in this business. There's an option checkbox here. Select multiple items. I'm clicking this. Select multiple items. I'm just clicking this, and I'm going to select uncheck all button. I'm going to uncheck all button. Now I am in need of the only data about 99 logistics. I'm just clicking 99 logistics. See, I'm doing it once again. You can see this channel partners. I'm just clicking the drop down menu, selecting multiple items, uncheck here, use 99 logistics, and just click OK. The moment you click OK, you can see your data is filtered based on the only channel partner or the distributor. So Jagadish sold this much in 2018, 54,490 to 99 logistics. And then Mohan Kumar sold antique watches worth of 25,278 in 2016 to 99 logistics. So this is the data. This is a simple sales report that you can get it from a pivot table. Now I'm going to make my table a very normal table again. Again, go to channel partners, check, click all, click OK. Your pivot table looks good, become normal. Now you can see an empty area, empty cell in your pivot table. This how to remove this empty cell, how to refill this empty cell. This means there is no particular sales of analog watch in 2017 by Roy Mannon. That represents analog watch. He has not sold any analog watches during 2017. Now, how to deal with this? How to deal with this particular empty cells? What you can do is like the moment you click inside the pivot table, you can see two menu that pops up. One is analyze menu, another one is design menu. This analyze menu, when you click this analyze menu, you can below the file, you can see the pivot table number, pivot table 2. Like how you created a name for your table, you can also create and alter names for each and every pivot tables. So that is not under our purview now. We will be focusing only on analysis part. So I'm clicking this. You have an options button here. I'm clicking this options. Many of you have used pivot tables, but there are certain things, certain tweaks that we can do to our data, to our tables, so that gives us maximum output. Now we can see pivot table options. There's an option here for empty cells. Show. I am typing 0. I am typing 0 here. Just 0 and click OK. Whenever this represents, whenever there is an empty cell that appears in your pivot table, automatically it is converted into the 0 appears. So this is how we are going to create it. Yes. Now you can see I'm going to close this pivot table. Field list, I'm going to close this. You just need to create a chart for this pivot table, a simple visual that gives you a simple idea about this particular pivot table. I don't want this grand total here. If you want to, if you can see there is a different thing in the pivot table that you can notice. All the subtotals are not below the items but are above the items here. You can notice here Jagdish 2016, this is a subtotal. This bold item is the subtotal of that particular group. You can notice this here. So these subtotals are shown like this. This is a default format of a pivot table. How we can alter this? Yes, definitely we can do this. We can make a change. Click inside the pivot table, go to design menu. See, when you click outside the pivot table, you cannot get these analyze and design menu. But when you click inside the pivot table, you can see these two additional menus, analyze and then design. This design menu, you have subtotals here. Below the file, you can see subtotals here. I'm just clicking subtotals, show all subtotals at bottom of the group. I'm just clicking that. So the moment I click show all subtotals at the bottom of the group, entirely my subtotals are pushed to the bottom. Now you can also off and on the grand totals, on for columns, on for rows, on for rows and columns, anything you can do that. And then subtotals, I don't know if in case if you are not in need of subtotals, you can straight away remove them. Do not show subtotals, and it also does the same thing. It will remove all the subtotals. In case if you are not in need of a grand total here, I don't need a grand total, I need only vertical grand total, I don't need a horizontal grand total. Either way you can remove this. Just click on the grand total, right click, remove grand total, remove grand total. You can remove it and again you can activate it using this design menu. Go to grand totals, off and on, you can on for columns only, anything you can do this here. Right now we are going to create charts for this particular report. What is the need of chart? A chart is a simple visual of the data, simple representation of your data in a visual form. You can create charts. Charts is not like a bigger chart. What you're going to do is like we are going to create an in cell chart, a chart that is created within a cell, that is called as sparkline graphics, that is included in Excel. A very useful tool for the purpose of visualizing your data, that is called as a sparkline graphics. How to activate this sparkline graphics? Now I'm going to the insert menu. This insert menu, click inside the, click here to the side of your this thing, go to insert menu. I'm using a version, Excel version, that is called as 2016. From Excel 2013 onwards, this particular feature is enabled. In case if you are using an older Excel, this feature cannot be enabled. And this, but here I am going to insert a slicer or insert a sparkline graphics. You can see sparklines here. This sparklines, there is a option. There are three options: line, column, and win loss chart. I am going to choose the first one, line. Just line. The moment you click line, you can see the data range. The data range here. So this data range, I'm clicking, I'm selecting the data 2016, 17 and 18. 2016, 16, 17 and 18. I'm just clicking here, click OK. The moment I click OK, you can see a simple line graph that is inserted within a cell. Now you can add markers to your cell, markers to your chart. The moment you click inside the chart, click on the chart, you can see a separate menu that pops up, that is sparkline tools. This sparkline tools will allow you to create in-cell graphics. Here you can go, you can see here lot of options here, lot of designs. You can see lot of designs here, and here you can see there is an option that is called as markers. This markers, you check it out. The moment you check markers, you can see 2016, 2017 and 2018 are marked in your in-cell chart. Now what you're going to do, now you can extend this chart to other cells also. Like you can drag and drop this chart, you can drag and drop, you can just use this particular thing and you can see a visual that is added to your pivot table. What is the other way of doing this? The beauty of Excel is shortcuts. What you can do is like just select like this, just select like this and press Ctrl D. Ctrl D is for down, and Ctrl D automatically copies in what is in your first cell and it replicates to your subsequent cells. So that is called as a, now we have put up a a complete analysis, a detailed analysis of your sales data, and a small charts inside this. Now you can name it as sparklines. Sparklines here. Now you can see every single data is represented in the form of a visual here. You can see how it is moving around, right? And now we have completed the first task in creating a pivot tables. So we have created a pivot table. This pivot table consists of 4 quadrants. I am reminding once again, 4 quadrants: rows, columns, values, and filters. Rows is the categorical area wherein you can drag and drop the variables. Values is an area where you can drag and drop your numerical items. Columns is an area that you can drag and drop your categorical items again. Filters is an area where how you want to filter your reports. So this is your report is Paka now. This is a sales report. Now we are going to explore what are all the other options that is available in your pivot tables. Up to this, many might have used this. There are various other options. Only if you know to create a pivot table, that is more than sufficient enough for you to build a excellent data model for your company. In case of a small business, with pivot tables you can do wonders in business. Now again we are going to create another pivot table. How to create a pivot table? Back to basics once again. Whenever you want to create a pivot table, go to the data source, click inside the data source, that is your table. Anywhere click inside your data, go to insert menu. The shortcut is Alt N and V. If you press Alt N and V, you can create a pivot table. Otherwise, you can go insert menu, pivot table. You can see your data range. Data is here. Whether you want to extend, no. New worksheet, no. I'm going to use an existing worksheet created for this particular purpose. Location, I'm just clicking this location. Go to summarize values. Creating a pivot table, first task we have completed. Now we are going to see how we are going to summarize certain values. I'm just clicking summarize values by, I'm clicking here, enter. That is, you are pressing double enter. Again, another pivot table that is created and positioned in your sheet. This pivot table is named as pivot table 3. Now we are going to see certain basic elements, certain basic exploratory data analysis. Likewise, we are going to see the basic thing for this particular data, this particular table. Now again, same thing. Now we are going to drag and drop the products. Drag and drop products to rows, and you can see when you drag and drop products, pivot table takes into consideration only the unique values, not the repeated values. Now I'm going to drag and drop the region below the rows. So I'm going to create a report based on region here. Yes, analog watches, and then under which you have 4 different regions: Delhi, Karnataka, Rajasthan, and Tamil Nadu. Now again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop year into columns, and sales. Again, you're getting the same thing. What is the purpose of creating this particular report? Yes, we are going to see it now. Now just right click and remove the grand total. I'm removing the grand total. Now again, in column labels, in this particular table, we are going to see we are going to do some analysis only based on the recent years. So we'll take any 1 year for analysis. You can select and filter data that appears in your pivot tables. How you can do this? You have something called as row labels. When you check this, when you click the drop down, you can select the items that appears in your pivot table. And column labels, when you click here, you can see 2016, 2017, and 2018, 3 different years that appears. So we are going to take only the latest year for analysis. I'm unchecking 2016 and 2017. Click OK. So I'm having one particular year for analysis. So what I'm going to do next, I'm dragging sales to the values again sales to the values again. You can see three sales here. You can see three sales here, right? Now what is the use of creating this? Now we will see. This is sum of sales, this is sum of sales 2, sum of sales 3. Now what I'm going to do is like sum of sales 2, double click. The moment you double click, a dialog box appears. You can see two different tabs inside the box: summarize values by and show values as. I'm taking summarize values by. Default, it has taken sum as a calculation. Now I don't want sum, I need count. I'm just clicking count, clicking OK. Now you can see count of sales, right? What is the use of count of sales? Very simple, right? There are 12 orders. We have sold 5,64,450 in Delhi analog watches, and it consists of 12 orders. But actually, this is a manipulated data. This is a fake data that I created for this particular session. So you have a even number of orders for all the areas. So never mind. Just look, just understand the concepts. That is more than sufficient. I'm going to see there are only 12 orders in Delhi, Karnataka, Rajasthan, and Tamil Nadu. Now, this is count of orders in each region. I'm just clicking here, sum of sales 3, double click. Now I'm going to change it as average. I'm going to change it as average. In case if you want to change the headers, this is called as a custom name. You can change the header. You can click here and you can change it as average sales. Average sales, click OK. Sorry, please hold on for a moment. Double click. I'm clicking it as average sales. Now you can use the number formatting, because when you are taking an average, normally Excel understands and it allocates lot of decimal points depending upon the calculations. I'm clicking the number format. Number format is available at the bottom. You can see number format. Go to number, decimal places. We need only 2 decimal places, so you leave it as such and click OK. 2 decimal places, click OK and click OK. And you can see this is the average sales in each region. This is a simple data analysis. And if you want to change the header here, count of sales, you can also rename it as, here you can go to the formula bar, you can rename it as orders count. Press enter. Orders count, press enter, and that's it. And you can see this is the sum of sales. This is the total sales in each and every region. I'm removing the subtotals. It looks a little bit awkward. I'm just removing the subtotals and making it center aligned. I'm removing the field list. Now you can see this is a 2018 sales data of products based on regions. This is a sales value. This is the orders in each region, how many orders we have sold, and then average sales. You can see the average sales here. Now what else we can do with this? There is something called as conditional formatting. This conditional formatting will help us to identify what are the things, the key insights in each data. That we can do it right now. I'm just selecting this. I'm just selecting only average sales. And then in the home menu, you can see there is an option that is called as conditional formatting. See, in case if you are having any versions previous to 2013, these functions will not work on. So it is better you can download a trial version of Microsoft Office 2013 or 2016. That is more than that consists of lot of options for data formatting and data manipulation. Now This is a conditional formatting. I'm selecting this. You have a lot of options: highlight cell rules, top bottom rules, data bars, color scales, icon sets. I'm selecting color scales here. I'm selecting the first one. I'm selecting the first one. See, this conditional formatting is available in your home tab. Conditional formatting, color scales, and first thing. Just that's it. I'm just hiding the top menu. Now you can see in Tamil Nadu, the performance of analog watch and antique watches segment are very poor in Tamil Nadu. Even though we have 12 orders in Tamil Nadu, but the antique watches, this color, red color, represents we have very less sales during a particular region. See how these color scales are allocated. Very simple, like it takes into consideration this entire sales, average sales, and it allocates top, middle, and then bottom sales. And then red is allocated for a lower sales value. So you can see this particular thing. Tamil Nadu in analog watch is performing lesser, and again in antique watches. Other in digital watches and smart watches, obviously you can see and a considerable amount of sales. Digital watches are performing very good in Rajasthan region. And this is a simple insight that you can derive from developing a pivot table and using clubbing it with conditional formatting. Yes, so we have completed the two different pivot tables, and this is also considered to be a sales report. See, this sales report will be very useful when you are appearing for a sales meeting. Now there are now we are going to generate another sales report that is much more important, that shows you how to analyze sales, target analysis, and then performance of your employees, especially as salesmen, that we will see in few seconds. See, the Excel files are sent to national YA, and they'll be sending you the Excel file along with the document. Whatever I am teaching here is given in a step-by-step format from the form of a PDF that will be useful for you to follow along when you are using this Excel sheet in your system. Um, I'm using only Windows system, so I'll not be able to use. I am not used to have a Mac OS, so please pardon me. You can add formulas in pivot tables, and that is called as a calculated field, and that's again an advanced part. Yes, definitely we can sort data in the pivot table. Now there is a question that is asked, like how to create spark lines. Once again, I will show you the spark lines once again. Please do pay attention. See, here I'm clicking here. Spark lines are available in the insert menu. When you click insert, you can see spark lines tab here, and there is a option that called as line column win loss chart. I'm selecting only line. Click line. The moment you click line, it will ask for a data range. This data range, always make sure that line is used for comparative analysis, how your data moves out, right? This data range, I'm clicking this data range. I'm selecting 2016, 17, and 18. Press enter. Again, okay. The moment you click this, what happens is like you get a line like this. Inside, when your sparkline chart is created, you can see a menu that pops up here, and you can use the markers. Check the markers here. Check the markers, and either you can drag it like this, or you do it like this. Press select like this and press Control D. D is for down. Control D automatically your spark lines are filled down, right? So I hope I have answered all the questions. Your Excel sheets will be sent to you after the session. Yes, I'll show you how to perform the color scaling again. So there are a few questions. Please do bear with me. So I'm going to show. See, we have created average sales here. Average sales here. So I am selecting this average sales. Going to home menu. There is an option that is called as conditional formatting. This conditional formatting, go to color scales. Color scales, and the first one, green, yellow, red color scale. Green, yellow and red color scale, you just click this. That's it. Automatically the colors are coded. In case if you want to recode this based on your own functions and formulas, or based on your own limits, you can do it. Definitely you can click this conditional formatting, go to manage rules, edit rule, and you can give the options here. And this is little bit advanced, which is not under our purview of this particular webinar. We'll cover it later in case we get another chance, right? So this is it. Now we are going to create the next pivot table. Next pivot table, show values as. Now again I'm going back to the data, insert, pivot table, the same thing. I'm repeating the same thing, so I'm getting little bit rushed up. Same thing, data, I'm going to place my pivot table in an existing worksheet. Click existing worksheet, location, show values as, and this is a fourth sheet that is available. I'm clicking show values as, enter, enter. So my pivot table is placed here. Now what I'm going to do is, like, I'm dragging and dropping month in rows. I'm dragging and dropping month in rows, year in columns, year in columns, year in columns. Next, drag and drop sales in values, year in columns, sales in values. Now I'm right clicking, right click, I'm removing the grand total. I'm right clicking and removing the grand total. Now again we are going to do another analysis, that's target sales analysis in this particular year 2018. Now go to the column labels. I'm going to filter out the data for only 2018. I'm unchecking 2016, 2017, and I'm leaving alone the 2018. Click OK. So you get this particular data. So 2018 data based on month is available here. What I'm going to do is, like, I'm going to add two more sales to this particular report to do another analysis. I'm dragging and dropping sales again into value area, value quadrant, and again sales into value quadrant. So you have three sales here, like how we did in summarized values by sum of sales, orders count, and an average sales. We are going to do a different analysis over here, and we'll see what I'm going to do. Right now, here, what I'm going to do is, like, just click on the heading sum of sales to double click. When you double click, you can see that these two tabs, summarize values by show values as. Now I'm clicking show values as. When you click show values as, you can see there is a drop down menu, no calculation. You click this no calculation. See, please understand, each and every step is typed and that is available in the form of a PDF that is available with your National YI Learning Center. So you can very well, you can get those resources for your practice. In case of any queries, you can send across a mail, right? And no calculation, I am just going to take one simple calculation. There are a lot of calculations here. There are 15 different calculations in show values as. I am taking only running total in, running total in based on month, because month is our row variable. So I'm taking month variable. Click OK. Click OK. What is this? This particular thing is nothing but your cumulative sales. This is nothing but your cumulative sales. You can see this particular sales, this cumulative sales. January it is 5,13,174. Again February it is 4,25,398. So altogether this 5 lakh plus this 4 lakh gives you 9 lakh. So we have created how the sales have progressed in every year, every month. You can see a sudden jump in the month of April from 12 lakhs 98,000 to 27 lakhs. You can see a sudden jump here. So this is the purpose of identifying the sales using a cumulative sales function. Now you can see this is a total sales. This cumulative sales will be very useful to understand the pattern of your sales. Now we are going to do another function. This sum of sales here, double click. I am double clicking. Again this tab opens, show values as. Here there is no calculation. I'm going to difference from. There is an option that is called as difference from, and your base field make it as month, because month is your row variable. So make it as month, and base item always keep it as previous. Base item is previous. Do not click OK. Go to the number format. Go to the number format. Go to the number format. Number decimal places is 2, and that is okay. Negative numbers, you see there is a red color, this negative number indication, this red color. Click OK. Click another OK, and you can see there are few numbers in black and there are few numbers in blue. What is in black and then red? What is the use of this particular function? You can see this is the target. This is a comparison. This is a comparison. This particular sales fall in short when compared to previous month. You can see the January month sales is 5,13,000, but February month sales is 4,25,000. So 87,000 sales are in short in the month of February when compared to January. Again March, it is compared between February and March. April, we have made a considerable improvement in the month of April. Except in April, September and December, all other months we have made short in sales. So how to visualize this once again? You can visualize this using conditional formatting technique. You can see conditional formatting techniques. Go to home menu, conditional formatting, data bars. Data bars, the first one, gradient fill. There is a blue data bar, gradient fill. You click this, gradient fill. Now it represents a simple visualization within your pivot table. You can see January, and in the month of April, we have made a considerable improvement when compared to previous month March, and in the month of September, again in the month of December. You can use this as a composite sales. What if you want to identify this particular thing based on products, based on salesperson? If you want to understand and evaluate how your salesperson is performing, how your employee is performing, definitely you can do that. Just drag and drop salesperson under month. Just drag and drop salesperson under month, and you can see all the differences, how your salesperson is performing. Jagdish, or like this, make the salesperson in top and month in below, and you can see how your salesperson has performed. Jagdish is your first salesperson, and he has sold 39,000 in excess when compared to January in the month of February. Again in March, he has sold in short when compared to February. In April, he has sold in excess. In May, in again in excess. Likewise, you can create an excellent pivot table for your employee evaluation, employee comparison. This particular sales target analysis will be very useful when you are creating a performance analysis for your salesperson or even for your products. What if you want to add your products to your pivot table? Yes, definitely you can do this. I am just removing the salesperson. I am adding products instead, and you can see the same thing, cumulative sales and comparison, how your products have performed in each other sales in every month. This particular thing will be very useful when you're generating insights just by the use of Excel. Very simple thing that will be helpful for you to create a lot of insights. Now I'm closing here. Now we are going to see the grouping, and we are three more steps in three more steps to complete a classic dashboard. Now again I am going to create a pivot table. You can drag employees in columns. Definitely you can do this, but make sure that the data is uh, not in clash with other particular thing. For example, in case if you're giving month as base items, if you're having lots of employees, my particular data consists of only 4 employees. In case if you're having hundreds of employees, the pivot table will run for pages. So that is the reason I have put employees in rows and then year in columns. Now I'm going to create another pivot table. Insert, right. I'm going to insert another pivot table. Insert pivot table, existing worksheet, location, grouping. I'm 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 going to group fields. Enter, enter. I'm going to create. You can also group fields based on custom references. You can see here. You have seen sales I have dropped into values. Now I'm dropping sales into rows. Since pivot table accepts all unique fields, all unique values, you can see complete all the sales figures are running like this. I have created a random data, so the data may not be so relevant when you come back, when you're thinking of smart purchase and all. Again, what you can do is like you can group these particular items. I'll show you how to group the numerical items and how to group the text items. Right click, group. Right click on the pivot table and group. Grouping, it will show you it has started at 0. 0 is the minimum value. Ending the top value is 99,864. What you can do is like you can group by 10,000 or group by 5,000 or any choice. I'm grouping by 10,000 scale, 0 to 10,000, 0 to 9999. I'm just clicking OK. When you click this, you can see your data is grouped like this. What is the use of creating this? We'll see. Drag the sales to values now. Drag the sales to values now. Now you can see the sales value between 0 to 9999, we have 59 orders. 10,000 to 19,000, we have 52 orders. And 90,000 to 99,000, we have 72 orders. We have a chunk of people who have placed major orders in our business. When you want to see that particular people, you'll be going for a filter. Insert. Pivot table has a new a unique functionality that is called as drill down. Drilling down will allow you to drill down your data to extract the information that will be very useful for your decision making. Now you can see this 90,000 to 99,000. You want to see those customers separately in a different sheet. Very simple. You have a sheet like this 72. Just double click here. Just double click. When you double click, you can see all those customers, all those transactions data that has a that has a sales value of between 90,000 to 99,000 are listed here in a separate sheet. This is the beautiful functionality of pivot tables. You can do this, but by just double clicking on your data, you can see this particular people data will be extracted and put it in a separate sheet. I'm just deleting this sheet. Now I'm going to create another pivot table. Now we have seen creating and grouping the data based on numbers. Now we will group the data based on text. Insert pivot table, existing worksheet, grouping, enter. So you can see here another pivot table. Now this particular pivot table, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to group based on region, dragging region to rows, sales to values, and then year to columns. You can see why this is representing only count 48. 48 is the count. Why is it? Because in the previous pivot table we have given count of sales. You can change it. Double click sum, click OK, and again here double click, sorry, right click, summarize values, make it sum. You can also do it like this header as a single header, so it is possible for you to change it for the entire pivot table. Here you have multiple variables here, so I am clicking here, right click, summarize values by, and make it into sum. The moment I make it to sum, you can see all those values are grouped, converted into sum values, sum of sales. I am removing this grand total once again. Now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to group this particular data into north and south of India. I'm just clicking Delhi. I'm just clicking Delhi. Press Control and clicking Rajasthan. Delhi and Rajasthan. Right click, group. Now I'm clicking Karnataka. Press Control, hold, click Tamil Nadu. Right click, group. So now you can see two groups are here. If you want to have, I can do it once again. I'll do it once again. Delhi, press Control, click Rajasthan. Right click, group. Again Karnataka, press Control and hold, press on the key and click Tamil Nadu. Right click and group. Now you can rename the group. I'm renaming it as North. You can rename it in the formula bar. Click here, group 2, rename it as South. So your data is now perfect. You have grouped the pivot tables. You can do it like this. There is a question that how to group between 0 to 19. I'll show the grouping once again. See here, click inside the pivot table. Click anywhere inside the pivot table. That is the sales area. Right click, group, and you can see the grouping here 0 to 99,864. There is a minimum and the maximum value. I am grouping it by 10,000. Click OK. That's it. Your data is grouped here. Yes. Now I'm going to create chart for this. What is the default key for creating a chart? For any chart, When you press F11 on the data, just press F11. F11 represents functional key. Just press F11, automatically a chart is created in a new sheet. But that is not necessary right now. What I'm going to create is like, I'm going to create a pivot chart. How to create a pivot chart? Just like creating a pivot table, I'm going to create a pivot chart. Just click inside the pivot table. Pivot and pivot, the two different phonetics of Australian and American English. Okay, right? And then go to analyze menu. You have option called as pivot chart. Just click pivot chart, click OK. I'm just doing it once again. Click inside the pivot table, go to analyze menu, click pivot chart, click OK. That's it. Now this particular pivot chart, we are going to do some alterations. Go to analyze menu, field buttons, hide all. I'm doing it once again. Go to analyze menu, field buttons, hide all. Now you can see all this data, all these buttons, unnecessary buttons are removed, and I'm removing the grid lines. Now your pivot chart looks clean. North Delhi, Rajasthan, South Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Now I'm going to create another chart for this particular thing. Analyze this particular pivot table, that is the sales data, grouping sales data. Clicking inside here, go to analyze menu, pivot chart, and click OK. So again, yeah, another pivot chart is here. Now what I'm going to do is like, I'm going to remove these are unnecessary buttons. These buttons are created as filters inside your chart. So you can remove these buttons. How you can remove these buttons? Click inside the chart, go to analyze menu, field buttons, hide all. And I'm going to remove unnecessary headers. Now your pivot chart is ready. Now there's a feature from Excel 2010 that is called as slicers. Slicer, how we are going to slice our vegetables or fruits. We are going to slice and dice our data. This slicer is one of the methods of advanced filtering. How we can use slicers in our data to filter our data, that we will be seeing now. And one more step to complete your dashboard. Now, how to create a slicer? Just click inside the pivot table, go to analyze menu, and you can see slicer. Insert slicer here. Insert slicer. In the filter area, you can see insert slicer. I'm going to create 5 different slices for the dashboard. Products, salesperson, region, year, and month. If necessary, you can also put quarter, but that is, now I am not concerned about that. I'm going to create slicer for these 5 items: products, salesperson, region, year, and month. This slicer is available in your analyze menu. Click OK. The moment you click OK, you can see these slicers appears here. The slicers are advanced filtering of your data, used as advanced filtering for your data. I'm going to recolor the slices, resize and recolor the slices. I'm going to resize like this and resize. And month, you have a very lengthy slicer. I'm going to shorten this slicer. When you click this slicer, you can see the columns. When you click this slicer, you can see slicer tools and options. You can see columns that appears here. 1, I'm changing it to 2 and 3. I'm changing it to 2 and 3. Now these are 5 slices I have created. You can change the color of slices too, that we will see it later. Now I'm going to take all these things into a dashboard. When you are creating a dashboard, make sure that your dashboard is like looking like a plain white screen in Excel. Just plain white screen. How to create a plain white screen without grids? Very simple. Any Excel user will know this. Just go to the view menu, uncheck grid lines. Just go to the view menu, uncheck grid lines. When you uncheck grid lines, automatically your slice, your Excel sheet looks like a plain worksheet paper, like a canvas, drawing canvas. Now I am going to the grouping. I am going to select all these slices. I am clicking products, press control, salesperson, region, year, month, this chart, the another chart. I have clicked all those things. Right click, cut. Going to dashboard, paste. I have pasted everything here. So I have placed slicers in all in place, and I have placed one chart here, another chart here, one more chart to complete your dashboard. Now last thing is like one more pivot table to complete your dashboard. I'm going to the data source, creating another pivot table. Insert pivot table, existing worksheet, location, go to tips, enter, enter. Now channel partners. I'm going to select channel partners in rows, sales in values, and you can see sales, there is only count of sales. I'm going to change it to sum of sales. Double click on the count of sales, click sum and sum of sales. Someone was asking in the question area how to sort. How to sort. Slicer is used for filtering your data, that I'll show you in the dashboard. Now you can see how to sort inside your pivot table. That definitely we can do this. See here, click inside the pivot table, that is sales, right click, sort. There is an option. Click inside the pivot table, right click, sort largest to smallest. When you click largest to smallest, automatically your data gets sorted here. Now you need only top 10 people who are inside, who are in the list. I'm just clicking here. The moment you click the row labels drop down menu, you have something called as value filters. Don't worry, this recorded session will also be available for you. Value filters, and go to top 10. It will ask for top 10 items by sum of sales. Yes, okay. So you get a sorted data with a inside the pivot table. Now I'm going to create a pivot chart for this. Click pivot chart, go to pie chart. I'm selecting 3D chart, click OK. Click inside the data, go to analyze menu, pivot chart, and I'm clicking pivot chart and OK. Right? And I'm changing the pivot chart into a much more better design. I'm selecting one particular design. I'm removing the field buttons and removing this. Now I'm using this chart. Right click, cut. Again in dashboard, I'm using this. Now your dashboard is ready. One last step to complete in your dashboard. One more last step. What is that? These slicers are used for filtering. For example, when you click analog watch, automatically it changes. Antique watches, it changes. Digital watch, it changes. This is used for a filtering technique, a visual filtering, right? Now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to connect the slicers to all the pivot tables so that your dashboard is pretty clean. Now right click on your slicer, go to report connections. Right click on a slicer and go to report connections, and you can see it here. Check all the pivot tables. Check all the pivot tables. Click OK. Do it for every single slicer. Right click, report connections. Do it for all the pivot tables. Right click, report connections for region, check all the pivot tables. Right click, report connections, check all the pivot tables. Month, right click, report connections, check all the pivot tables. Now that's it. We have completed a dashboard and you can see it here. This particular dashboard. What is the use of this particular dashboard? You can see, you must have seen in the initial start of this webinar, I have shown you a dashboard, the same dashboard that we have created right now. Now we need the data of digital watches alone. I'm clicking digital watch. The moment I click digital watch, you can see this is the bandwidth. This is the bandwidth of the sales of digital watch, and this is the sales in each region, and these are top 10 channel partners for digital watches. These are the top 10 channel partners for digital watches. I'm clicking digital watch like this. To clear this filter, you can see a funnel symbol in the slicer. Just click this. So your funnel symbol makes you to become normal. Then again, I need the data about Delhi region and what is the sales of smartwatch in Delhi region. I'm clicking Delhi and clicking smartwatch, and you can see this is the sales figure, and this is year 2016, 17 and 18. The smartwatches has considerably, the sales have reduced in years, and these are the top 10 channel partners. This is how we can use the filters, that is slicers. You can use any format, like I'm clicking March, sales during March of analog watch alone in Tamil Nadu. You can see the only channel partner that we have sold in 2016 is the Barbarian. In Tamil Nadu, this is the sales, and the bandwidth is 30,000 to 39,999. That's it. So undo the slices, click the funnel symbol, Alt C or funnel symbol. This funnel symbol and your dashboard. See, instead of carrying your data to your meetings, carry dashboards. These dashboards will help you to show your power of your data, power of your visuals, and then it creates a lot of impressions when you're showing these kind of visuals in your meetings. And that's it. I'm closing the Excel right now. See, there is a question like how to create slicers. Click inside that pivot tables. Click inside the pivot tables. Go to analyze menu and you can see insert slicer. You can insert any number of slices, products, salesperson, sales, not sales, year, anything, right? I'm clicking just products. When you click analog watch, this slicer changes. This is how you can create slicers. And there is another question. How to slicers are available in Excel? Slicers will be available in Excel 2013 onwards. I guess it is 13 on 2013. 2010 slicers are not available, sir. Dashboard. When you're going into dashboard, right click on the slicer, report connections. Report connections, and this the PDF of the complete session, step by step, every keystroke is typed, and that will be that is sent to your national learning resource, and you can get it from there. And you check all those pivot tables, and immediately all the slices will get connected to all the data, so that what happens is like your dashboard, anywhere you click, your dashboard changes, right? So right now I'm closing this Excel here. Slices are not available in 2010. I'm back to this PPT, right? Now you can get it from your YA chapters, national learning resource that represents your, you can get it from your YA chapters, this Excel file as well as the PDF that is available, that even the PPT and PDF that is sent to your YA chapters. Now we're going to see another set of BI tools for the purpose of data management. There is something called as Microsoft Power BI, Power Business Intelligence. You can see a video. You can see a video. Power BI is absolutely free of cost. In case if small businesses are thinking of moving from Excel to any advanced tool, you can use Power BI. You can access Power BI even in your laptops, tablets, and in your mobile. I'll show you a demo on this Power BI right now. And you can see Power BI has two versions. One is desktop, another one is web app. Desktop version is free to operate, and even the web app is also free for an individual. In case if you're having an official ID in the sense any organizational email ID, it is free to operate. They offer 1 GB of cloud space for you to host your files. I'll show you a small demo on Power BI, how this Power BI can be used. I'm just opening here. This is also a product from Microsoft, and it is always for a single user. It is free. When you are scaling up your business, when you are having lots of data, then you'll have to pay for it. I'm going to sign in. I'll show you some BI reports, business intelligence reports in this Power BI. This is a Power BI workspace. This is a web app actually, and you can see all my files are stored here. And I'll show you one important file, the use of Power BI. The volume of data that Power BI can handle is unlimited because it uses cloud to host all your data. And you can see, and this is actually a report. This is actually a sales report. This is actually a sales report. I'm going to show you only one visual to understand the power of Power BI. And this is the data. And this is a scatter plot chart. This is a scatter plot chart. This consists of data starting from year 2000 to 2015. This consists of charts starting from year 2000 to 2015. It consists of more than 1 million transactions. The file size is only 60 MB. But you can see how this particular report gives an insight for your business. See, you have the total sales, total units, and total sales value by category, segment, and year. And this is a file from Microsoft basically. And you can see all these are represented in the form of a bubbles here. Here you can see the timeline. The moment I click play here, the play button is here, you can see as the year passes, you can see how your sales have moved from one area to another. Year 2000 to 2015. Now this is a business intelligence report. With this you cannot understand anything. Very simple, like you want to understand which is the bigger segment here. This yellow moderation is the bigger segment here. Moderation is a bigger segment here. So I am clicking this. The moment I click moderation, you can see the path in which this particular segment has moved on. You can understand the recession in 2008 and 2010 in US. This particular data is relevant to a US company sales data. Now I'm clicking the play button. You can see the path in which this category, that particular category, moderation category, has moved. And this is absolutely using Power BI, and you can harness the power of data, and this is how you can use for your reports. And I'll show you some other working files, and this is absolutely free. Basically for anyone, you can use it free. In case if you're having an official ID, I'll show you another sales BI report, similar to a sales report that you have seen now. See the same thing, I mimic the data from this particular report. You can see region by sales, region and salesperson by sales, region and products by sales, and then year, product and sales, sales by region. Here now there is a metric here: total sales, top product by sales, top channel partner, and performing salesman. We need data. I'm going to filter this particular data based on one particular country. See, if I'm going to click Brazil, I'm just clicking Brazil here. The moment I click Brazil, all the data is focused and filtered towards, like this is a visual slicer, like how we have seen slicers in your Excel. This is a visual slicer. You can see the total sales in Brazil is this much, and the top product that is performing in Brazil is bottles. Top channel partner is this particular Wide Electrics, and performing salesman is Michael Jackson. And just a fake name. Likewise, you can crystallize your data based on anything. I'm clicking the map Russia here. The moment I click Russia, all your data gets filtered, and this is a simple BA report for a company. And everything, sir, you might ask me a question, say whether it is only related to sales. Certainly not. We can use our BA, business intelligence, to create reports for any of our operations. I'll show you another important report for HR, for your employee, for your employee database. Like this is an HR report. You can see the department manager, the bands of the managers, band wise employees count, and department wise employees count, and this is a simple map that you can create. Right now I'm going to click here Kolkata. The count of employee code is 76. The moment I click here, you can see the average age, average tenure, and CTC of the people. Department manager, you have 8 department managers in Kolkata, 1 general manager, 31 managers, and other people in the department. Everything is crystallized here, so it has become normal. Now I'm going to click metrics, HR metrics. You can create HR metrics based on sales, based on employees. You can create metrics like this, and city wise analytics. And just again I'm going to click Vishakhapatnam. Here you can see this Vishakhapatnam. You can see the sales, the employee count is 75. Per CTC, the employees are generating 12 rupees sales. Per employee, they are generating 24 rupees of sales. They are simple metrics that you can use it to understand how your business is progressing with the help of your employees. Next, the most important thing, everything is compressed in the same single report. There is business intelligence report, HR report of a company. This I have generated for my client. just a fake data, that is it's a model data. I'm just showing only a model data. Now you can see this particular report consists of people who are retiring. In case I just want to know people who are retiring in their 2021. I'm just clicking the filter 2021 here. The moment I click 2021 here, you can see there are 9 employees retiring April, July, August, everything here. And the count of employee codes in which band each employee is retiring. Everything is listed over here. So this is the power of BI, business intelligence, and companies can definitely use Power BI as it is very cost effective, almost zero cost effective. You can use this cloud app or even a desktop version. I'll show you a desktop version. In case if you are very much worrying about your data, almost complete your you can read the guidelines, data protection guidelines from Microsoft. Your data is completely protected. If you are going for a protected thing, see, it is not only for business. I have given my Facebook data as input to my BI report. You can see this is my Facebook data. See, this is just for fun. You can see how business intelligence can be used in your personal lives. You can see number of likes for my Facebook account, and then time at which, see, actually you need to create your text analytics. Like in case if your product is performing well or not, you'll have to understand from your social media interactions that you can do it from your Facebook pages. I'm just clicking one guy, Rajkumar, here. The moment I click Rajkumar here, you can see the number of likes he has given for me since 2012. He has become friend to me in the year 2012 till 2018. I have not updated my data due to that Cambridge Analytica issue. You can see in which particular post he has not given me any likes, zero here. It consists of all my post here, completely all my post here. I have shown only top 10 posts, and this consists of all my 2000 friends here. How many likes each and every friend has given to my post. Everything is listed here, and this guy has particularly given me most likes during 6 o'clock in the evening. This is a simple analytics that I can do with my Facebook data. Everything is free of cost, and that you can do it with your business intelligence. And I have created a word cloud. This is a word cloud that I have created for my Facebook comments. From my Facebook comments, I have selected only 600 comments, top 600 comments, and I have created a word cloud. Actually, this is a part of text analytics. This technology, this is a little bit advanced. This word cloud will be helpful in understanding the words that is used by your customer in your product reviews. Since I don't have any access to product review pages, so I used my own comments, and then I created a word cloud like this. So I'm closing here, and this is just a demo. We'll have a further sessions in case. Likewise, like Power BI, we have several other softwares. There is Google Data Studio. Google Data Studio is absolutely free of cost. You can use Google Data Studio absolutely free. In case if you are logging into your we are running out of time, so I'm skipping Data Studio. You can check out Data Studio that is available in the Google product page. You can log it out. You can log in using your Gmail account, and then you can create dashboards and anything. You can share it across. Now I'll show you one simple demo of Tableau. Before getting into Tableau, I'll show you this particular Tableau. This particular Tableau has different products: Tableau Public, Tableau Desktop Professional, and Tableau Prep. This Tableau Public is free to use, but it has limited operations. They give you 10 GB of cloud space, but your files will be public. One of our viewer asked me whether our data is private. No, certainly your data is not private. Anyone can access your data in case of Tableau Public. But in case if you are getting a Tableau desktop professional edition, definitely you can hold and you can protect your data inside your business. And just opening it, how the HR and FB related data was captured in Power BI. Actually, HR related data, I have created a fake data in Excel, and then I have linked it with my Power Business Intelligence software. And then FB, I have I have downloaded my FB data. I have cleaned it using a tool that is called as Power Query. That's a little bit advanced of Excel. Power Query is meant for data cleaning. That is called as ETL, extract, transform, and load in your Excel. That's a little bit advanced topic in your this thing in Excel. And you can see this is Tableau. This is Tableau. Again, yet again, this is another business intelligence tool that is worldwide, that is very famous. And this particular tool will be useful for you to understand and maintain your reports. You can create any number of reports. You can create any number of business intelligence report. Simple way of simple analytics. Everything using this Tableau here. You can create what if forecast. And this is just a demo, and there is nothing to do with. In case if you are finding it difficult to follow, best you go to the YouTube, and then you can find the Tableau videos for your self learning. You can see it here. I'm just clicking. These are like how we have used slices here. You can create visuals, you can create dashboards, everything, and then you can present it to your boss or to in a meeting. You can even forecast the data. You can estimate your sales and you can forecast your data. And this is very helpful in case if you want a Tableau free license, in case if any of your friends are studying, they can get a student license, or any professors, any BA software, any software that is free for any education institution. So that is how I am getting access to all those softwares. But in case if you are very much interested, you can download a trial and then try it onwards. Try it, try those softwares in your using your business data, and then you can go for purchasing. And then the final software that is called as Click. uh, Click has two different products. One is ClickSense and ClickView. ClickSense is free to use both desktop and cloud. In case if you are a business user, if you want to use it in your business to protect your data and you are very much concerned about data privacy, you can pay it for a $30 per month, and then you can obtain this Click. And that's it with all those softwares like Power BI. Power BI is free. Google Data Studio is also free. Tableau is free for the public version, because you can't locally save the files. You can save it only in the cloud, but those files are accessed by anyone who is having a account in a Tableau. And finally Click. And in case if you want to create any visualizations, a simple visualization, you can use these websites. Datawrapper.de. 1 minute, please hold. Sorry, back to it. And in case, what you can do is like you can use these websites, datawrapper.de, Plotly, and Flourish Studio for the purpose of creating visuals, anything with your data. And if you think you can do only business data with your analysis, no, definitely not. What you can do is like, I have created my resume using BI software, visuals CV with my BI software. You can see this particular resume is publicly available, everyone can access it. And this is my visual CV actually. my education, all my skill sets, all my social media buttons here, my short bio, all my certifications. I have done a lot of certifications, maybe Microsoft on these things, my experience here, and my industry consulting. Everything is available in this uh, Tableau public. And this is, I made this particular resume as public because it is very easy to create a resume, visual CV in Tableau, and I have created and uploaded it. This you can see it here in the name of Tableau public. If you're logging into, if you're just Google Tableau public and type my name Kamalakannan Perupal, you immediately you'll be getting my resume, all my contact details, everything is available here. And that is apart. In case you are very much interested, you can go to it. You can see how even resume is created here. I used to teach my students, so you need to impress the industry by creating a resume like this, because when you're a data visualization expert, you need to show visuals even your resume, right? Now the last part, we have come to the last part in your webinar series. 3 more minutes, I'll complete. The analytical trends in 2019. We have a lot of designations like CFO, CEO, CIO, and so on. And today we have a designation that is called as Chief Data Officer (CDO) and Chief Analytics Officer, that is that is coming up in the every company. And lot of things that people are speaking about is like machine learning, how you're training machine to learn things to do repeated tasks, like how you are going to, how you are creating macros to do certain things. Likewise, you're training machine to understand and do some analytical tasks, that is called as a machine learning, using neural networks, deep learning. And even machine learning, it is automated, that is called as automation learning. And next thing is natural language processing. Hi Siri, hi Cortana, everything is natural language processing. That is more upcoming right now. And embedded analytics, cloud analytics. These are people, they engage in using your data, and you can see everything in your web-based server, like Tableau, Power BI, everything. They will be using these particular BI softwares at the back end, and you can be having access to these particular uh, softwares, and your data they will analyze and they will sell it to you. And then self-service BI, all these BI softwares, business intelligence softwares, will come under the classification of self-service BI, because no coding is required to create these kind of softwares, these kind of visuals. IoT and industrial IoT. Industrial IoT is going to be the future, and artificial intelligence, augmented analytics, end-to-end decision-making platforms, and finally, we are moving from data warehousing to data lake and data mart. That's a structured data and more of easily available data that is used for, see, every single tap of your smartphone is available in the server of Apple and Google. So they are customizing all those messages, all those advertisements based on our particular usage. So everything is, everything is available in an organized way for the purpose of analysis. And this is the trend. And SMEs and especially businesses need to invest in tools. To invest in tools, you invest in people. Even the top people, top management, they have the data people by the side when they're making any strategic decision making, right? And I take the opportunity to thank everyone, especially the YA National Learning Team, Rachna Jain and Sandeep, and Salem team, Ajay Rajpal and Mr. Ruben, and my School of Management, my director, my faculty, students, and then my student associates, right? And this is my speaker summary. You can find it me in my LinkedIn. Just type Kamal PK, you'll get everything about .me and Kamal PK. You'll get all those things about me. Right, I close here. The time is 5 o'clock sharp. I'll just answer a few questions in case. VBA and macros is not my area. I teach only business intelligence and business analytics. I'm proficient in business intelligence, and R and Python I'm just looking on. Right. So time is 5 o'clock here. I close this session. And thank you very much for your patience. Thank you one and all.